Hello, everyone. This is Tammi Morrison, and I am live. I'm so grateful to be here, and I am talking about all things energy today. Talking about energy as it relates to trauma in your life. So, those of you that don't know me, oh my gosh, what happened? What happened? Okay. So those of you that don't know me, my name is Tammi Morrison of Unleashing Your True Self. That's my business. And what I do is I am an energy alchemist um, and visionary. So what does that mean? That means I'm an intuitive healer who specializes in helping people to shift their energy as if by magic. And so that is who I am. And I help or assist mature women in transition to go from pain to power. So if that's you, reach out to me and let's talk and see how I can help you. Because there are several different ways of working with me. I do have private sessions that I do healing sessions. And I do offer like one session, and I also offer a 3-pack of sessions, which is typically what most people need. I'm also doing a group program starting in the next month called Enough. So if you will watch me, follow me. If you are watching me now, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and hit the little button so you'll know and be notified when I come live on here. So I'm talking about all things energy. I love Neville Goddard, and Florence Scovel Shinn is one of my most favorites. I also love to listen to Abraham Hicks. They're another one that I just absolutely love. I listen to quite a few people. But I was going to say Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith. He's another one that is amazing, and I absolutely love to listen to him. So today I'm talking about trauma. And the thing I wanted to share about trauma is that any type of trauma can produce physical or subtle challenges. So that spoken, I want to talk first about environmental trauma. So environmental is natural. So natural disasters, think hurricanes, think tornadoes, cosmic flares, climatic changes, and all of those things are environmental. And then you have the human-caused environmental, which is pollution. I apologize. I think that was loud. I'm sorry. Pollution, airborne toxicity, geopollution, sound toxicity, and electromagnetic toxicity. So these are all human-caused environmental toxins, actually. So then you have physical trauma, which is accidental or deliberate, physical abuse and violence. You have pain, primary or secondary. Primary pain is usually the result of a physical force, and secondary pain involves the aftermath of this particular challenge, including follow-on injuries such as those incurred post-surgically or emotional fallout. Sexual abuse and violence also is in there, as well as microbial infections, genetic issues, epigenetic, which is a chemical soup of microbes and ancestral memories that surround the coding genes, and diseases. Also, psychological trauma. Psychological trauma would include emotional abuse, verbal abuse, psychological abuse, moral trauma, such as being forced to act against your value system, which is huge and crucial. And it happens so easily and so frequently. Also, digital abuse like bullying, dating manipulation, fast news cycle, hyperavailability. Learning issues also fall under the psychological trauma. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, autism spectrum, somatic body sensitivities, dyslexia, and similar challenges. Psychological illnesses and conditions, depression is one, including different types such as clinical, situational, and postpartum. Clinical means that you've been diagnosed by a doctor. Um, Postpartum is after you have a baby. That happens many, many times, and there are many of us that didn't get any type of treatment for it. We just sat in that trauma. And so sometimes trauma like that can come back and cause all kinds of issues because you think about it. It goes through your head, and it plays like a record. Anxiety is another thing under psychological abuse. Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, which is huge right now. Everybody's talking about it. And it's not just for the military, y'all. It's not just for the military. Codependency, there are 4 types, including energetic codependency. Additional mental illnesses, including borderline personality, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, many other ones, addictions and allergies, substance, behavioral, food, and other nourishment issues in particular. Aging is another one, financial problems, relationship problems, spiritual and psychic problems, including soul wounds, attachments, entity absorption of others' energies, hyperpsychism, and more. Complications of grieving is another thing that will affect you. And so many of these traumas we don't even think about, and more times than not, we stuff them down. We push that stuff down. And so as we do that, then these traumas are lingering within our bodies, within our systems, in our DNA, actually, because ancestral trauma, and that's another one. I don't think I included that, but ancestral trauma is another one. Trauma that you have had in your ancestry, possibly past lives, or even your own personal ancestral healing wounds from your personal family, that you know of. Because in a lot of our families, there's so many things that happen that are just, it's just what we do. That's what people say. It's what we do in this family. But it's not correct. It's not right. It may not be morally right. It may not be right on a whole bunch of different levels, but it's what you do in your family. And so that also is a trauma. It is traumatic. And so the more that I study and the more that I dive deep into healing, especially using energy and trauma healing, I'm looking at these different types of wounds and things that happen within us and around us and through us, all of that. Even if you were at a place where you begin to look into your past lives and you begin to see that maybe you were burned at the stake, maybe you were a witch, or maybe you were forced to marry somebody that you didn't want to marry. That is trauma. That is trauma, and it could cause all kinds of wounds. And Dr. Joe Dispenza tells us that these traumas also create neural pathways. They create neural pathways which are like embedded in our system, in our DNA, and we have to actually clear those. And we can clear them ourselves. However, you can also see a practitioner that does that type of work, because there are lots of people out here that are doing it. Lots of people. You can actually also probably get a clearing on YouTube. I don't know how good those are because I have not used it, but I'm saying if I decide to put one up, you can definitely trust me. But there are many, many other people that do this type of work. You just have to look for them. Um, Also, the thing about these traumas is left unaddressed. Energies of both the trauma and our system's response to it can cause or contribute to chronic illnesses. The lines between first level traumas, second level stress responses, and subsequent long term disturbances blur when we're dealing with many psychological learning, addiction, and allergy related problems. Well, at least briefly address these concerns. So, knowing that each type of challenge can affect us physically and energetically. And that's the thing that I wanted to talk about and just bring to the surface. All the challenges that are at their core energetic, all of them, every single one of them. Trauma is a significant life disruption that affects us not only physically but also energetically. So the force or energy of the trauma harms us when it doesn't harmonize with our original energetic signature or your innate characteristic energy. Forces trigger and physical and energetic stress responses. These energies and the secondary energies that are part of that stress response are the sources of our chronic challenges. So if you're dealing with some type of chronic challenge, like autoimmune conditions, diseases, conditions, lupus, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome. What is that other one? Myasthenia gravis, HIV, any of those conditions that feed off of you, because that is what those conditions do. They actually attack you. They attack your inner self. They attack inside of your body, and so they attack those things. And typically, many of those are from an energetic concern. You can take that or leave it. Do what you want with it. But um, forces trigger a physical and an energetic stress response. Those energies and secondary energies that are part of the stress response are the sources of our chronic challenges. These chronic challenges, of course, are include psychological, chronic psychological. So if you're chronically depressed, or if you have chronic anxiety, which many people do, many times it has to do with some of these traumas that you have dealt with in yourself. The thing, guys, trauma has to have a place to go. So you can either send it out or it's going to feed on you inside. That's what I'm saying. So as you begin to grow and as you begin to dive deeper more into the energy of the thing, and as you dive deeper into the reason behind it, like the root cause. And that is one of the things that I love to do. And I love to do that with my clients, to dive deep, to really dive deep and really share and get to the root cause of what is going on. Because the thing is what I've learned is that energetics love to get to the root cause. Now, you might go to your doctor and they're really not going to be concerned about the root cause. They're just not. They're just not. They're not. They are concerned about treating the symptoms. So they treat the symptoms and not the root. Because, if they took time to get down to the root, Lord, a lot of people probably wouldn't be able to afford to go to the doctor because, it takes a little time. It's not a quick fix, but if they give you a pill, then that's a quick fix for now. And then what happens after that is, and then you'll start having all those crazy side effects from the pill that they gave you. So that's something that you have to consider when you are dealing with the trauma that lives within you. And so what I like to do is try to help people to get to the bottom of it and get to the place where they can resolve the trauma. Because here's the thing. If you resolve the trauma many times, it will resolve the condition or the disease or whatever it is that you're dealing with that has been forced to the surface because buried within you, but it's been forced to come to the surface. And that really is it, y'all. That's it. So, as we begin to understand that energy equals information plus vibration. So that really is what energy is. It's information and movement. Information over here and movement over here. The information is the programming that tells something what to be. For instance, the information within your morning Java tells your coffee to be coffee. If you alter that information, that coffee might change. Maybe it goes from dark roast to light roast. Perhaps it becomes a cup of tea. The energy of everything in this universe also vibrates or moves. So, as we are getting along in this world with the energy, as we begin to understand the different types of energy, physical and subtle are the two types of energy, as we begin to understand how that works and how the quanta works, because quanta is the smallest unit of reality. The smallest unit of reality, and there are various types of that, including quarks, tachyons, and gluons. The truth is, we don't really know how many types of quanta exist because of the unique ways that they operate. So, quantum law actually underlie classical science's rules of energy behavior. Quanta aren't concerned concrete unless voted into reality consciously, and neither is the material world around you. Everything around you Most of it is empty space. The objects in it are determined by the appearance and disappearance of quantum. So, I'm super excited to share this with you. I will be back on again tomorrow talking about some more things, energy. I'm super, super, super excited to share these things. And if you would like to work with me on a level, make sure that you reach out to me. I also am marketing this book, Passing the Pearls. It is stories about our grandmother. I am so excited, looking for at least about 10 to 15 more people to join us in writing this book. It's so amazing. I just cannot. I'm super excited about it. I am super excited about it. So make sure that if that's something that you're looking for, you want to join me in a multi-author book, and you want and you are ready to join, ready to write 1,000 to 3,000 words. I have two contributor levels. One is 662, the other one is 800. So it makes it really, really easy and simple to join. You can write 1,000 words at 662 and 3,000 words at 800. So join me there. Send me a message and let me know that you are interested, because you had an amazing relationship with your grandmother like I did. An amazing relationship. Oh my God. I miss her so much in the physical. She has transitioned probably about 20 years ago now, I think, almost. And I miss her so much still, even every day, in the physical. But however, I do get to communicate with her on an ancestral level. So that is amazing. And yeah. So again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And if you would like to work with me, helping women go from pain to power is my jam. If you would like to work with me either in a one-to-one or in a group hybrid component of my 6-week program, Enough, you had enough and you are ready for the changes and the transition, make sure that you send me a message on whatever platform you're watching it. I think this is YouTube. Yeah, YouTube now. So again, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your what? Day, evening, weekend, nights, whenever you are catching this live stream. So again, thank you for hanging out, and we will talk later. Bye now.